live show. This is Tea on Thursdays with the one and only your gay best friend. And we're coming to you from a place of laziness today, to be completely honest. I'm not feeling very well. There's a lot of things that are going on, but you know what? We came here to start the show, so we're going to start the show. So today, is just straight tea. Today, straight tea. I decided to come live. The reason why I decided to come live today is because I wanted to try something different. I needed to try something different. Um, so yeah, let's get it started, right? So I'm gonna put my Snapchat. I'm going to put my Cash App in the comments. So if you guys would like to donate, I would greatly appreciate it. Definitely like you don't have to, but if you'd like to, I'd really appreciate it. A bitch been looking for work. A bitch ain't been able to find work. A bitch been doing little things online to make her little coin. Hey Troy, what is up, Troy? Thank you for tuning in, baby. Yes. Who else is here? Say hello in the comments. Boost my confidence a little bit. I decided to stream in this mode, but I don't know why. I should have just flipped the camera, but then I'd have to like move back my camera and my setup. But I promise. I tested on my laptop. I always do this. I tested on my laptop instead of testing on my iPad because the camera quality is better on my iPad based on the test that I did earlier. So, yep, there it is. Boom. Lollipop, JJ Lollipop. That is my alter ego. So, without further ado, let's get right into the tea. Um, and I'll be checking the comments here and there to chat with you all. Okay. So, first of all, we need to start with this Astroworld Festival madness because it was definitely a lot going on, okay? And I have all of the news for you, so I'm going to break it down. So this past Friday, which was last Friday, Travis Scott was performing at his annual Astroworld Festival in Houston, Texas. And child, it was a mess, you know. There was people allegedly being stabbed with needles, stampedes, a literal tragedy. As of today, it has been reported that there are 9 deaths. And that's something that I just can't wrap my head around because, you know, people go to a concert to have a good time. You know, there's been people passing out at concerts since Michael Jackson. Okay, like everybody know you went to a Michael Jackson concert, there was guaranteed someone was going to pass out. So the fact that 8 people died is very problematic. 9 people died, pardon me, is problematic. And I think what struck me the most was the story about the young boy. He's 9 years old. His name is Ezra, and ooh, child, the other night I was crying when I was literally crying when I heard this story because um, he was at the concert with his father and they were bonding, and as the crowd surge hit, the father got, you know, swept down and the son fell off his shoulders, and the son was taken to the hospital as a John Doe. So can you imagine? First of all, let's just really think and imagine that father's fear, like all the fear he must have been going through in that moment when he woke up from passing out, unable to find his son, not knowing where he is. First of all, I cannot imagine. Secondly, um, when he really did find out what happened to his son, to find out that your son is in a medically induced coma because all of his organs are damaged and his brain is damaged, that is really difficult to wrap for anybody, I think, to wrap their head around. Oh God. There's so many videos that I had prepared for my taped show. Hi, Shar. There's so many videos that I had prepared for my tape show, but being that it's a live show, I'm live directly on YouTube. I don't necessarily have StreamYard. Okay, so um I definitely would like to show you these things, but some of these things are really sensitive to see. So I didn't think that it would be the most appropriate to show people passing out and like, being worked on like CPR, and Travis Scott is literally watching this happen and singing in this weird monotone. It was like it was definitely very satanic in a way. It was definitely kind of like uh it was definitely like a sacrificial thing. Like it was weird. It was something that you do in a ceremony. So okay, I want to debunk that security officer came out today or yesterday, I should say, that the security officer did not the security officer did not the security guard did not get stabbed with a needle. He said he was struck in the head. Don't know where that came from. But the gag is that even earlier in the day, before Travis even had gotten on set, there was footage. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk about the footage I'm talking about, and then I'm going to go back and re-edit it and throw that in here so we could make this a whole thing, for the people who haven't been able to make it today. But I there was literally people breaking down a wall. There were people breaking down a wall, okay? And then they run through security and everyone is jumping over security, and it is just, that should have definitely been said. There was definitely there was a security officer who was working the event, and I have video of her. I'm gonna put that in a little later. But Shamira S. Williams, she gave her account on what happened through Instagram, and pretty much what she had said was that there was so many young kids actually doing actual drugs. There were like kids doing actual drugs, and I was just like, what? And now listen, I've been to a concert before. Yes, I smoke my little weed and stuff like that. Yeah. But there are people who go to concerts and choose harder favors, I should say. And when you are in that environment where it's hot and the kids are drinking, and most likely they're not drinking water to, kind of balance it out, you're going to get people that are weak and that are unable to kind of like hold themselves up. But what I don't understand, going back to Ezra, is how does a little boy fall off the shoulders of his father and not one person or anybody in that huge area see what is going on? How do you not see layers of people's bodies below you? It's it's disgusting, And then the people who have died, the age ranges are like 14 to 27. Someone just like came out and died today. So there's definitely going to be more deaths. There are definitely more people uh fight. There are definitely currently still people fighting for their life as we speak. So I definitely just want to give a prayer out and send a prayer out for those families. Uh, the gag is that this is not the first time. This is not the first time that Travis Scott has been accused of this type of behavior. He was arrested twice before for it, and I hate to bring that up, but I think it is definitely important to bring up in context in this situation, because it says a lot about Travis Scott and the safety protocols and how important they are to him. Because apparently there was this security officer who had was in the pre-meeting, the meeting in the meeting before, when they talk to like the EMS and before the show starts, and he said that he had concerns and nobody took his concerns seriously. So he was arrested back in 2015 for inciting the crowd at Lollapalooza. And in 2017, he was also arrested again for inciting a riot in Arkansas, encouraging people to rush the stage, ignoring security protocols. A security officer and a cop were both injured. So, right now, as of today, there's currently 17 lawsuits against Travis Scott. Drake has been named in a few, and they're expected to, be a lot more. Each of these lawsuits are asking for $1 million, so that's at least 17 million already. That doesn't include all of the tickets that have been refunded. uh, this is going to be a mess, but it's sad to say that it needed to happen in order to make sure that a lot of concerts going forward are very safe. Imagine being somewhere with your dad bonding, and that's the way you go out. Oh God, I cried. I cried my eyes out. Jesus. So I think that is pretty much the gist that I got of the situation with Travis Scott. There were stampedes, there was God, God, I can't imagine. Also, literally after that Friday night show, they wound up canceling the rest of the weekend, which is the smartest thing that they could have done. And then he um, basically canceled his upcoming performance that he was supposed to perform at a festival this upcoming Saturday at Day in Vegas, which was also a good idea because based on the history and based on the type of fans and the type of raging he encourages in the crowd, it's not a good look. I just wanted to talk about my experience at a standing concert. Those waves are no joke. And when I say those waves are no joke, you can't fight it. And of course, it gets very uncomfortable. Um, I felt like my only duty was the friend that I had come with to make sure that I did not lose her. So there were moments like while we were in the standing room. This is when I went to go see the baby at Terminal 5, like 2 years ago in New York City. Mm. Hydrate is muy importante. So yeah, so I will say there's people digging in your pockets, trying to like steal money from you. There's literally violence can like come out of nowhere. I mean, there was this guy, this little white kid in front of me, and we're like dancing or whatever. Me and my friend, we enjoying the music. He has the audacity to look at me, tap the guy in front of me, and tell the guy, yo, he's trying to touch your butt. So I turn to homie and then I look at his girlfriend while I grab homie because I'm ready to fight. Can you imagine being like one of the only openly gay people at a hip hop concert, right? And there's this little dweeb in front of you trying to incite violence, trying to get me in a fight. So I grabbed him and then I looked at his girlfriend and I said, you better tell your man something before you and your man get beat up right here, right now. Do you know she told him to shut the fuck up and we kept on moving and we had a good old night? And then it's just unfortunate because now I have to keep my guard up because now I don't know if this is going to come from anywhere else. I can hold my own, sweetie, all day, every day. I was just like, I didn't want to have to go and do that. But those waves, they pick you up off your feet. They literally pick you up off your feet, and you sometimes don't even have your own footing. You just have to go with it because if you fight against it in any each way, you're literally fighting so much pressure. So if there's like 10, and of course we're like near the front, so there's so many others behind us that are trying to get as close as they can. So, with that being said, you try to fight all of that weight on your back, it's impossible. And it's the same thing with the front, and it's the same thing with the side. So, at some point, you just have to surrender and kind of like go with the wave. And it's very scary. I mean, I got used to it. I'm not no punk bitch. So I literally could like, deal with that and it not be so bad. But it's been times where I'm like, during that night, I was like, I don't think I could do another concert like this. And to be honest, I haven't gone to another one. I prefer stadium concerts much more, where I have my own seat, my own space. And it's a lot more safer. I think the thing that I usually worry about is if I'm high up, is if accidentally some drunk bitch comes flying down from the nosebleeds and happens to bump into me and then I'm flying over. But it hasn't happened. Dramatic. But so to go back to the seriousness of this, I definitely would like to send our condolences and to those families that are fighting for their lives and the ones who have lost their lives. And I truly hope they throw the most extravagant funerals, darling. Okay, make these people pay. So, in lighter and more boring news, Summer Walker released her album last Friday, and it sounds like the same one as the first one. I think the most iconic line because TikTok seems to TikTok definitely seems to be able to break down the highlights or the best parts of the song and the way they make it into memes. It definitely kind of like changes your perspective of the song. So I want to call. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say it because I don't need any copyright issues here. But it was the. I'm gonna start with your mama. She should have whooped your ass. No, he ain't shit. Like that's popping. Okay, when is Wendy Williams coming back? Apparently not for another month. Everyone. Okay, so Michael Rappaport started the guest hosting gig this week on the Wendy Williams show. And I think it helps that he's loud and a little obnoxious to why he's probably really fitting on this show. And it seems like it was fitting because we know Michael Rappaport is a really big Housewives fan. And he literally it's like Housewives Week on the Wendy Williams show with Michael Rappaport. His interview on Monday with Wendy was bomb. I know you guys have seen the memes of Wendy literally him asking Wendy, is she a Nikki fan? And she goes, pull up in the Sri Lanka. And everybody thought she ate, but girl, you did not eat. That is not the line is pull up in a monster automobile gangsta with a bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Here I go, singing again. Copyright issues. Jesus. But to say nonetheless, it was a really good interview. Yesterday, no, Tuesday, he had Glinda from The Real Housewives of New York. And then Wednesday, I don't know. Wasn't able to catch the show. You see what I go through, y'all? This is why I film at 3 a.m. So literally, so yeah, so then today, Andy Cohen, he had Andy Cohen on the Wendy Williams show. I'm telling you, it's just great. Andy was promoting his book, which is Glitter Every Day, which if any of my besties is watching, I'd love that as a Christmas gift. Because I haven't read a book in a very long time. And yeah, okay. So yeah, but now speaking of the Wendy Williams show, news hit same day from Wendy's IG team, and it's not even Wendy Williams herself because we know she has someone who runs it. And this is what it said. It said, "How you doing? I miss you all. As everyone knows, my health has been a hot topic. I'm making progress, but it's just one of those things that is taking longer than we expected. I'm a woman of a certain age, darling. And I know enough to listen to my doctors and will return to my purple chair as soon as we all agree I'm ready. I want to thank all of my staff and our guest host for stepping up and stepping in while I can't be here. I also want to thank Deborah Mercury and our stations for being so understanding while I work my way back. Most of all, I want to thank my fans. I've heard your prayers and comments and feel all the love. You are everything to me. I'm spending my mornings with you all, and I'm doing everything I can to get back to work. But right now, Wendy has to focus on Wendy. I love you for watching. So I think we should all collectively send a prayer for Miss Wendy Williams. She needs to get better as soon as possible. It's definitely not the same. It's not like getting me to get up every day at 10 a.m. to watch. I'm truly not excited about Jerry Springer or Steve Wilkos. Their shows alone, are clearly dated and or boring. Um, I didn't even know the Steve Wilkos show was still on. Like, ciao. But apparently they're looking to pay $400 for a 3 hour taping. So I definitely signed up for that, but they ain't called me back. And yes, if you go through a certain website, I'll go ahead and I'll post it on my Instagram. There's where you can sign up to be a paid audience member instead of a free bitch and wasting your time and them cooking and not feeding you. And yeah, okay. I might as well just tell y'all about my Wendy Williams show experience now while I'm here because I've been meaning to do a video about this forever. And since we're on the subject, let me give you the tea. So, what happens is you go, they want you there before 8. It is not completely necessary, child. Ain't that many people running to the Wendy Williams show. You can get there at 8:30. You can get there at 8:45. They'll still let you in, okay? Don't let nobody think that you got to be on time. So after that, you go on this line. They literally give you tickets. I don't know. I think they're looking at you. They're looking, appearance, what you're wearing. They're scouting you from when you walk up to see where you're going to be sat in the audience. They don't want you to be too outshiny in the middle because then it takes away from Wendy. Oh, you think I don't know that? So that's why the 2 times that I was there, they sat me off in the little fucking corner. But nobody sits me in the corner. I'm so fucking bright that I'll shine or you'll see me from anywhere. Okay. So as you sit in the room, you go through security, you go through this like the walkthrough metal detector. After you go through the metal detector, you sit down in this room. They give you these Ask Wendy paperwork because they make everybody fill out an Ask Wendy form. And some of the questions are so annoying because they ask damn near the same question in so many different ways. There's like 5 different fucking like 10 different sections where you can literally go ahead and type, or write in your things or whatever. Then there's different producers for different segments. So the producer that I worked with for when I was doing the Bachelorette segment, that never happened. Uh, he literally he does the Ask Wendy. So he pulls whoever has like the best Ask Wendy questions. He pulls them. They go to the back, and then I guess they brush out the details or whatever the case may be. Then you have the game show producer, the game portion. So what they do is they just kind of shout you out. They get you, oh hey, just jump up, be like, how you doing? Tell me where you're from and what you do. So then there's people who have balls and spark like me who will jump up and be like, how you doing? My name is JJ. I'm from the Bronx, New York City. How you doing? And then there's, people. And then if they like certain people, they'll pull them. I never got pulled for any of that. I already knew my star was too bright for that. And then it just happens. Get sat in the corner. I get in VIP because I wind up sitting and making friends with the girl. Her name is Alicia Olatuja, and she sang at Barack Obama's second inauguration. So I was sitting with royalty already. I'm like, oh yes, girl. So because she had gotten picked for the Ask Wendy segment originally, she was VIP, and she was like, "You're coming with me because, girl, I went by myself. I don't miss out on opportunities because nobody wants to come with me, child. Life is too short for that." So literally after that experience, so we sitting there, Marco is trying to hype everybody up before the pre-show. We kind of pretty much know who our eye candy is before we even have a seat because like I said, they deal with all of that downstairs. Once we get upstairs, it's seating, and then they literally just want us to be pumped up. So make sure you eat before you go because baby, when Food God was there, we're all like sitting there. I wasn't hungry because I knew better to eat because the first time I didn't eat, but the second time I went, I definitely did eat. And everybody's hungry, and they gave out like little. they ask for like audience like leaders or dancers, so you get to like go and battle and like just like kind of like a little party beforehand, just to get everybody's energy up there. So once that is happening, they give away like little Gold Bond lotion or like Gold Bond body butter, like really cheap things. It's nothing of like super great quality. And who the fuck is using Gold Bond if you don't use that? Gold Bond is kind of like a very specific thing. So who the fuck is using Gold Bond if you don't use that? So after all of that, Marco's hyping up the audience. Boom, boom, You know, they let us know when to stand up. They'll tell us, you know, the cues or whatever. Boom, Wendy comes out. I'm on the side where I could barely see the heifer. The camera's right in front of me. So that wasn't like the greatest experience. But it turns out the Monday night before I went to the Wendy Williams show, I was lying in here, depressed as fuck. The Bachelorette was on the TV. Now, that's not something that I normally watch, but it was just like the universe had set that up for me so lovely. So when she says, no, clap if you actually watched. Bitch, I'm not going to motherfucking lie. I got all hyped up from the pre-show and all of this whoop, whoop. And baby, I'm going to clap my motherfucking hands if it's the only one that's going to clap their hands. So, of course, I was the only one to clap my hands. And then they passed me the mic, and Auntie Wendy's having like a whole conversation with me. And I'm not afraid of television. I'm not afraid of a camera, darling. I'm not afraid of it, anything. Like a little nervous because I'm like, oh my God, bitch, this is fucking happening. Don't say anything dumb, and I was able to carry on and I was able to cut in and I was able to understand the right moments to cut in. I was a, you know, I knew how to do the give and take, and it was amazing. And apparently Wendy loved it so much. And I was invited back, you know, the next week to do the Bachelorette segment. And it was annoying because literally as I'm sitting there, I'm mic'd up in the audience. I literally know my moment is coming, and my moment never fucking came because what happens? Live TV. It just really made me like sad or whatever. And I wasn't I didn't get too sad because I had to realize like opportunities like this don't come often. They definitely come once in a lifetime. And I it taught me to lower my expectations. Don't be sad for me, you know. I'm still here every Thursday, but and then I kind of like use that as motivation for me to do my own Bachelorette reviews. So, you know, now that we're in a new season, I do my Bachelorette reviews. I was doing them on this show. I decided to take it off and throw that on Instagram to also try to build my Instagram audience. Yeah, so that's my Wendy Williams show experience. I definitely got tickets again for when Whitney was there, but something in my spirit told me not to go. Something in my spirit was just like, you had an experience. Don't try to chase another one, you know? I didn't want to be disappointed, so I decided not to go. So, with that being said, let's pray for Miss Wendy Williams, and let's pray for Jason Lee too, because um, I thought he was the next Wendy Williams. I wonder why they haven't called him for a guest hosting spot. Anyway, that is our show for today. Thank you all who were in the comments. I seen ya. I don't know what's going on. They don't really pop up or stay long enough for me to read them. I'm going to go back and like and comment on all of your comments. Please be sure to like this video, okay? If you liked it, I appreciate it. I got 5 people, 1 like. Please go ahead and run up those likes. I'll greatly appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not. And also just type in my comments. Let me know that even after here you saw it. And yeah, with that being said, until next time, I will see you all later. It wasn't intentional to make this a 30-minute show. I definitely meant to make it a 20-minute show. But once I saw we was at 22 minutes, I was like, child, let me have fun with my people because ain't nobody else coming. And make sure you hit the notification bell. The notification bell notifies you when I come on, when I go live, when I drop, when I upload. and I'd greatly appreciate it. And until next time, I will see you all soon. Bye.